Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel on finding your best path to your emotional and physical health. My name is Erin, and I'm here to bring you the tips and tricks that will help you achieve your best optimal health overall. If you like what you hear today, please subscribe and get notifications of videos as they come out almost every day. And also, please download my 5 free videos on tips and tricks to finding your best emotional and physical health. Also, please connect with me on the website if you would like some personal coaching on things that you need to change in life strategies that might help you achieve a little bit better health, especially in today's world where our health is becoming really, really important. We must take control of that because we are certainly not getting the support we need from the health community. So, without further ado, let's kind of get into today's topic. We've been going through mostly cognitive decline. This topic is actually going to be kind of an intro to some things that we probably will get more into later on in additional series, because stress management is becoming quite a buzzword. It's been a buzzword for a long time, but we fail to understand the significance of the chronic stress that goes on in our lives. And while our bodies are designed to respond to stress in short bursts, which is kind of the fight or flight, it's what we do. We respond to a stressor and then calm and relax. But in today's world, we have a lot of things that don't allow us to do that. So we need to kind of figure out how to incorporate that into our daily routines. So the body, like I said, is designed to deal with short-term stressors such as fasting or exercise in short bursts, and then kind of rest and relax. This is actually called hormesis. So that is the healthy way to deal with things. But those of you that have listened to some of my stuff on trauma, and we'll kind of get more into that in some other series as well, is that trauma and early childhood experiences actually will set our ways on how we actually respond to stress. And sometimes this stuff can even start in utero. So when we understand maybe how our past has created some of these things, we can heal those. That's one step. But we also have things that we can do in the moment to kind of relax and improve our ability to manage stress. So stick with me here and I'll go over those really quickly. There are a lot of ways to manage stress out there, and I could go over a huge long list, but I want to bring you my top 3 things that I like to incorporate into life. Actually 4. I'm going to cheat a little bit. So there's 4 things that I think are probably the easiest and the most useful to incorporate right away into our daily practice. Mindfulness is actually the number one. It's the number one easiest thing to do, I think, to kind of stay present in the moment. And I say easy because it's something you can constantly remind yourself when you're in kind of that anxiety provoking, worrying about the past and the present and the future and all of that. When you stop and you ask yourself what it's like to be in this moment, what am I feeling right now? It puts you in better touch with your body, as well as puts you in touch with what you're feeling. And most of us are pretty good at shoving those aside because of other things going on in our lives. So stopping for a minute and being in the present moment is essential. And it's just a practice you have to do all the time, because you're never going to stay completely in the present moment all the time. It just doesn't work that way. But we constantly redirect our attention and we're going to get better results in that instant calming. So that's the first one. Meditation is the second one. This one takes a little bit more practice because sometimes people worry about whether or not they can do meditation right, whether they need to do things differently. I know when I first started meditating, I was always worried about what was going on and whether or not I was doing it right, because my mind would wander. Well, and it took some practice to figure out, oh, that's what it's supposed to do. And then you just constantly bring it back to the breath. But this is one of those things that takes a practice to do, 5-10 minutes a day. For those of us that have wearables, if you have an iWatch, an Apple Watch or something like that, a lot of times it tells you to breathe. That's a form of meditation and mindfulness. You could use that feature. But if you're looking for a deeper practice, you need to schedule time to meditate almost every day. And I have found that some of the best things available are just, there's tons of stuff on YouTube. And I always go and I look and I just do a search and pick one and start with it and let them guide me through it, because I find it a little bit easier to focus on somebody else talking to you about those things and talking you through the whole meditation practice. The other one that I also really like is kind of a biofeedback tool called HeartMath. So HeartMath is more of a wearable where they are going to measure our heart rate variability. The more flexible our heart rate variability is, the better off we're going to be. It means that we can return to the more calm state quicker. So we want our heart rate to go up in certain aspects of the breath, and there's a whole big thing on it. I'm not going to go into the details now, but how our breath matches our heart rate, and then how we can use our breath to kind of calm our heart rate. And now it's got an app. When it first started, it was a computer program, and you hooked yourself up usually through like a finger monitor or an ear monitor where they would clip on your earlobe. Now it's a little bit fancier, more technology based, and you can use actually more wearables on your phones and stuff like that, and it actually has an app which will give you the feedback immediately. And you can either still use the finger things, or you can use the ear things also to give that feedback. I don't know if they've yet attached it to wearables like the watch or the Oura Ring and other wearables like that, but those, I'm sure that's definitely coming, because it will help measure that and help you give you that immediate feedback. And these are good for people that really like data and immediate feedback on what your body's doing. Whereas like meditation, you may feel more relaxed, or even in mindfulness, but you won't see that your heart rate is actually changing. So it's a great way to do biofeedback on your own. The other few things we've talked about in our practice on exercise that actually is a meditative sort of exercise is either Qigong, which has a lot of breath work to it, which also incorporates mindfulness, and also Tai Chi. Both of those are very mindful based and keep you in the present moment, in addition to providing some exercise. So while they don't provide you with a lot of cardio, they provide you with that kind of relaxation and stabilization work, both mentally and physically. Few other tips that I would say for people that are struggling with stress management is don't overschedule yourself. Learn to say no. A lot of times people say yes to a lot of things they probably shouldn't, and just say, I don't have the time for this. I'm really sorry. And the other things are use lists and reminders on your phones. Now there's tons of stuff available to just use those and kind of remember things. Because if you don't use something like that, you're more likely to forget stuff, and that just causes more stress, and then people tend to beat themselves up about that and so forth. So don't rely on your memory. It's not necessary. You don't need to like test your memory all the time. It's just better to just kind of use some of those things that are available to you. And then also the last major tip is unplug and spend less time on our devices, less times on the computer, less times on TV, less time on our phones, and more time connecting to each other or just reading a good old-fashioned book. Those things are all going to be helpful to helping us relax and manage stress. Even if all you're doing is 5 or 10 minutes a day of each one of these things, just put it in your schedule and you will feel that much better. And the more resilient you are, the more you're going to be able to prevent not just cognitive decline, but major health issues. And we'll get into this in another series about stress and how the body is affected by stress, because it causes long-term health problems if we don't manage it effectively. So again, if you need some more coaching or you need to make some lifestyle changes and you want a little bit of support, please connect with me on the website and we'll get you set up for some time to kind of go through your lifestyle and see where we can make changes. Don't worry, I won't make you do a bunch all at once, but I'll help you get on the right path. Thanks and have a great day.